Good morning, everyone. I'm presenting labels distribution matters in performance achieved in legal judgment prediction task. The authors are Olivier Salaün, myself, Philippe Langlais, and Karim Benyakler from the University of Montreal in Canada. So first of all, I'm going to make a short introduction about what legal judgment pre-prediction is. It's a task in which a model is given the description of the facts of a legal case, and the model is expected to predict the verdict that was originally decided by the judge. This type of task is usually formalized as a multi-label or multi-class text classification. One particularity of this type of task is the fact that decisions usually involve law articles can be used as additional input features. And one of our main goals in this work was to find out to what extent article-based features can improve classification performance. For this experiment, we used a corpus of decisions from the Tribunal Administratif du Logement du Québec. So it's a court in Quebec that is specialized in disputes between landlords and tenants. The decisions are in French, and most of the cases are related to issues such as late payment of rent or poor maintenance of the dwelling. In the first pre-processing step, we split each decision into two parts. So on one hand, we have the pre-verdict text, from which we extracted the description of the facts, and that will be used as text inputs. And we also extracted all the articles that were cited. So initially, we had more than 1,000 law articles, but we actually retained only those that were related to a housing law. So therefore, we retained around 445 articles from the Civil Code of Quebec. Concerning the verdict section, so this is a part that from which we will make our target labels. So with a mix of heuristics and domain knowledge, we managed to pseudo-automatically annotate our cases with 23 labels in order to cover as much as possible the diversity of the rulings. So for instance, we have labels for with one of the parties suffered monetary penalty, another label for eviction of a tenant, termination of the lease, or repossession of the dwelling by a landlord, for instance. Eventually, we removed from our data set all of the decisions for which we couldn't identify any verdict label, or from which we couldn't extract any meaningful housing law article. In terms of models, so we picked three. So our baseline is one versus rest logistic regression with a TF-IDF vectors. Then we have a camera BERT model that is a variety of the BERT model, a pre-trained on French corpora. And finally, we used a combination of camera BERT with one-hot vectors that encode with some law articles or cited or not in the original decision. As a result, so we have the following table. So we notice that the inclusion of article-based features allow significant improvement with respect to a simple BERT model, both in terms of exact match and unweighted average of F1 scores. However, these scores alone hide the fact that the improvements are not uniform across all labels. If we look at the performance label per label, we notice that we have little to no improvement for the label with high frequencies. This suggests that articles have insignificant effect for labels that already have a high support. And also we notice that the improvement are only significant for a handful of low frequency label. So as a future work, we intended to find out what the conditions must be fulfilled so that article-based features can allow better classification performance. So this is the end of this presentation. I would like to thank the Cyber Justice Laboratory, the Lexham Chair, and the ATC project for supporting this work. Thanks.